You know, you can start your leads with whatever you want. It can be a quote, it can be 2 words. Used to try to get everything you wanted in that first sentence. I've kind of shied away from that. Sometimes it's just hard. You don't want your opening sentence more than 20, 25 words. So it's okay sometimes if it takes you a couple paragraphs to get to that nut graph and to get you into the heart of the story. You don't want your first sentence going on and on and on, and it's just, people aren't going to continue to read it. Be creative in your lead. It's something that you can come back to. Just write something and then come back to it. You know, your first lead isn't going to be probably the one you use, but it's a starting point, and you can come back to it and you can rework it. Sometimes I'll ask other people to read it, as other just people in my office. They're the common reader. They're what do you think? And it's okay to ask other people what they think. Usually it takes you a while to get that down, but if you can't get your reader into your story within the first few paragraphs, then that's kind of your goal. Get them in that first few paragraphs. When you're writing your lead too, in your first couple opening paragraphs, you want to set the mood for everybody. They want to know exactly why they're reading the story, and if they continue to read, what are you going to tell them? You also want to look to, why should I care about this story? How does this affect myself, or how does it affect me? Not every story you're going to write is going to be read by everybody, obviously, but you try to tie people in anyway, and you try to. This is why you should read it. This is why you should care. Whether it's someone you know, whether it's your taxpayer dollars, whether it's a kid in high school, or you're a parent that works in this community or has a business in this community. Usually there's something for everybody in the newspaper. Another thing for you to do too is just try to use words to describe something. Instead of saying, Mr. Johnson angrily said to me, angrily said, show it. Mr. Johnson waved his hand in the air and Mr. Johnson pounded his fist on that table and said, try to show, you're telling a story, try to show what's going on instead of just saying he angrily said. Obviously when you write your stories, get it written and then take a break from it too. I've actually tried to get back into that a little bit more because I kind of got away from it. Like for us, we put our big day is Tuesdays. So, sometimes I'm actually home on Sunday and I'm writing a story and I get it written. I know it's not perfect, but I leave it alone until Monday morning. Fresh eyes help. Another thing, I don't do it as much as I should, but my other reporter, he actually does it quite a bit. I see him. He reads his stories out loud a lot. I think it's a good idea to do that. I should do it more, but you read that story out loud a lot, you'll catch some things. You'll know if that paragraph you are writing is way too long as you're talking and talking and you have no break. It might give you a good clue to where you should put a comma or things like that. So be on the alert for redundancy and clutter. Don't repeat yourself. That's one thing I catch myself doing, is I kind of repeat myself once in a while in a story. Space is tight, obviously, on community newspapers, and you want to kind of keep things as condensed as you can in your story. People's time is valuable. We're lucky if they're reading the jump page, and we know that. So you try to keep it on the shorter end, hopefully, that you can do that.